Part 1. The Ancient Feud and the First Meeting. The story of Romeo and Juliet is set in the beautiful Italian city of Verona. However, peace does not exist in this city. Two noble families, the Montagues and the Capulets, have been enemies for many years. No one remembers how the quarrel began, but the hatred is deep and violent. Because of this feud, even a small argument can turn into a street fight. One hot morning, servants from the Capulet family begin fighting with servants from the Montague family in a public street. The fight quickly becomes serious, and citizens gather around. Soon, young men from both families join the fight. Benvolio, a Montague, tries to stop the fight and restore peace. But Tybalt, a hot-tempered Capulet, arrives and challenges Benvolio to fight. Swords are drawn, and chaos spreads across the street. The fight is stopped only when Prince Aeschylus, the ruler of Verona, arrives. He is angry and disappointed. He warns both families that if such violence happens again, those responsible will be punished with death. The crowd disperses, but the hatred remains. After the fight, Lord and Lady Montague worry about their son, Romeo. Romeo has been acting strangely. He is sad, silent, and avoids company. Benvolio discovers the reason. Romeo is deeply in love with a girl named Rosaline, who does not return his love, and has chosen to remain unmarried. Romeo feels heartbroken, and believes his love is hopeless. Meanwhile, in the Capulet household, Paris, a nobleman and relative of the prince, asks Lord Capulet for permission to marry his daughter, Juliet. Juliet is only 13 years old. Lord Capulet feels she is too young and suggests Paris should wait. However, he allows Paris to try to win Juliet's love. To celebrate, Lord Capulet decides to host a grand feast and invites many guests, including Paris. A Capulet servant is sent to deliver invitations, but he cannot read. By chance, he meets Romeo and Benvolio, and asks them to read the list for him. Romeo discovers that Rosaline will be attending the Capulet feast. Although the Montagues and Capulets are enemies, Benvolio encourages Romeo to attend the feast in disguise, hoping Romeo will see other beautiful girls and forget Rosaline. That evening, the Capulet house is filled with music, dancing, and joy. Guests arrive wearing masks. Romeo enters the feast with his friends. As he looks around, he suddenly sees a girl more beautiful than anyone he has ever known. At that moment, Romeo forgets Rosaline completely. The girl is Juliet Capulet. Romeo approaches Juliet, and they begin to talk. Their conversation is gentle, poetic, and full of emotion. Romeo takes Juliet's hand, and they share a kiss. Neither of them knows the other's identity at first. However, Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, recognizes Romeo's voice and becomes furious that a Montague has dared to enter the Capulet house. He wants to fight Romeo immediately, but Lord Capulet stops him, not wanting to spoil the celebration. Soon after, Juliet learns from her nurse that Romeo is a Montague, the enemy of her family. She is shocked and confused. At the same time, Romeo discovers that Juliet is a Capulet. Both realize that they have fallen in love with someone they are supposed to hate. As the night ends, Romeo leaves the feast, deeply troubled, yet full of love. Juliet, too, cannot stop thinking about Romeo. Their love has begun suddenly and powerfully, but it is already surrounded by danger, hatred, and conflict. Thus begins the tragic love story of Romeo and Juliet.